Keenan Shanholz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty. I'm at 111 acres on Waits Run Road in Wardensville, West Virginia. And I'm looking at Waits Run right here, and the trout stalking truck literally just went by. So they just threw a bunch of trout in here. And I'm standing here on Waits Run Road, and the majority of the property is over this way. And here's the ford. You have to ford the creek to get in here, and we're getting ready to do a little bit of work here on this ford to make the approach better and whatnot. We had to get some permits from the DNR and so forth. But you'll see that road continues on through there, and there's an old barn and such on this property. But as I kind of pan around, it gets on a big hill up there, and we got a road up to that big hilltop, which would probably be your building site. And this thing's surrounded on two sides by the National Forest, or bordered on two sides by the National Forest. And as I kind of look back this way, the property starts kind of just beyond my vehicle there a little bit and has a good bit of road frontage. And then there's also, you know, maybe 3 acres or so here on the other side of Waits Run Road, and electric and everything. So if you didn't want to deal with crossing the creek, you could always build over there, you know, and just ride your ATV or side by side across the creek. But this is a nice property. I mean, you're only a few minutes off 4-lane highway quarter H. I mean, this is an easy drive from Northern Virginia, DC. The ground lays really nice. Like I said, it's bordered by a trout stream, for crying out loud, and the George Washington National Forest on two sides. So I'll shoot another video when I get on up in here a little bit. Keenan Shanholz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty, again on this 111 acres on Waits Run Road. I'm actually standing on the, kind of like at the back of the property, on the smaller side of the road. Like I said, there's about 3 acres on the one side of the road here where you don't have to cross the creek to get into it. And I'm looking, you know, the way we're facing, we're looking at the bulk of the property. But, I mean, if you didn't want to have to deal with the creek, you know, crossing it to live or have your cabin, I mean, no problem. I mean, there's enough room over here on this side, and you're back off the road a little bit. And like I said, the electric, internet, and everything's right out here, you know, kind of right out in front of me. So it's always an option if you don't want to get wet. Keenan Shanholz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty. Got another video here on this 111 acres. I'm standing in the center of Waits Run on a rock, trying not to fall in here. But Waits Run's a year-round stream. They stock with trout above here and below here. Of course, the trout wash down, but it's a nice stream. I'll pan around here real easy. Try not to fall. But, I mean, today's March 30th. It's been relatively dry spring so far. So the water level's fairly low, all things considered. You can see, you know, kind of like where the rock line is, how deep this thing can run. And if you see here, you'll see me standing on this rock. But I'll get on up in here and shoot another video. Keenan Shanholz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty. I think this is video number 4 on the 111 acres on Waits Run Road. I'm over on the bigger side of the road, kind of just up behind the old barn, not very far. I mean, I'm not very far back into the property at all. And just, if you're willing to ford the creek, this is your payoff. You got this great view over here. There's an old little field here. I mean, all this stuff around this old barn and house down there at one time used to be a field. I mean, you could tell. It's kind of grown back up in autumn olives and pines and stuff. But really, the majority of this thing is hardwoods. This would make a fantastic building site. And you got the National Forest to your right, the way we're looking. And in back of you, I mean, it's just very, very nice. Keenan Shanholz here, West Virginia Land and Home Realty. I'm up on, I think this is video number 5 of the 111 acres on Waits Run Road. And I'm up on the high point of the property, which is just kind of up off of Waits Run not very far, and we got a little road kind of pushed up in here like a four-wheeler path. But the way I'm looking, Waits Run's kind of like right underneath of us. But if you get up to this spot, you're just and cut a few trees, that direction right back through there is about the only place you can't. Of course, you know, you could get out on there and probably get it, but I mean, just everywhere you look, you're kind of staring at the National Forest any direction. But you just have tremendous views up here. This is a really nice building site. It's flat up here. It's not far from the utilities, from the electric. But just a big hardwood ridge up here. And if you want privacy, you want year-round water, you want ground you can use, this is the one.